Welcome to Baxter Bell Yoga. I'm Baxter Bell. I have 3 quick requests for you and then we'll get right into our video practice for today. Number 1, please check out my website, baxterbell.com, where you can find access to my online yoga classes. You can find opportunities to dive deeper into your yoga learning, and you can find more free content. Number 2, please reach out to me personally at baxterbell.com if you'd like to set up a one-on-one session to improve your overall yoga practice, or if you'd like to address any health issues that you have with yoga therapy. Number 3, if you enjoy this video and you find it helpful, please like it when you're done. That would be really helpful. So that's it. Let's take a look at what our practice for today is. All right, so today I'm excited to share with you an alternative to one of my favorite poses called legs up the wall or Viparita Karani. However, a lot of times, especially in modern homes and small apartments, it can sometimes be difficult to find a space at the wall that's free of artwork or anything else for that matter that allows you to easily do that pose. So I'm going to share with you today one of my favorite alternatives. In my book, Yoga for Healthy Aging, this is called the Easy Inverted Pose, and it has a lot of the same benefits of legs up the wall, such as helping to shift the nervous system more towards the quieter rest and digest operation of the autonomic nervous system, and lowering blood pressure, slowing down the heart rate, relaxing the respiratory rate, all those kinds of cool things. So for this, you'll need a chair. Now I have a chair that doesn't have a back to it, but even if you have a small back and there's a little space for those of you that have longer legs, that will allow you to get your feet out there a little bit so that you don't have to worry so much about kind of jamming the ankles or feet at all. You're going to want to put this on your mat, and I like to put a folded blanket on top if the chair does not have a cushion on it, especially in colder weather. It's really nice to have that insulation against the coolness of, in this case, a metal chair. So I'll let you decide if you need that particular blanket. And then I sometimes like to have a second blanket, which I'm going to take from its rectangular shape, and I'm going to fold it once so it's even a thinner rectangle. And I sometimes like to have that as a slight lift for the pelvis. This is also optional. Some of you will find that you don't actually like how that feels for your pelvis and lower back, and therefore you can just move that out of the way if you don't want to use it. You could have yet a third blanket for a support for your neck and head, especially if you have any stiffness in that area, or a small thin pillow just to provide a little extra support if you'd like that. So feel free to grab that if you'd like. Now, to get into this easy inverted position, I usually sit on my blanket that's on the ground fairly close to the chair, kind of ready to side saddle my way up, and I kind of scoot my butt forwards because when I swivel around and down, my hips will swivel over towards the center of the mat. So I want to be fairly centered. And then bringing the hands on the floor a little bit behind you, go ahead and swing one calf up onto the chair and then the other calf. Now the big tricky part here is to make sure that the back of the knees aren't getting kind of jammed upward by the front edge of the chair. So you may have to scoot a little forward or back. Just an inch or so could make a huge difference. Using your hands to help you guide your chest down, you're going to bring your shoulder blades down on the floor. Now I usually, once I get down, I often have to lift my hips up a little bit and adjust my blanket forward or back so that I really get a nice even support underneath the back of the pelvic bones, that sacrum bone and the 2 wing bones on the sides. So ideally I want to feel like that back of the pelvis is parallel with the floor as opposed to dumping towards the chest or overarching towards the chair. So I want to feel pretty neutral in that area. I want to go ahead and adjust my legs so that my calves, the calf muscles, feel like they settle nicely into the blanket or the chair seat, and that the back of my knee is free of any significant pressure. Once I've got those little variables dialed in, then you can choose to place your arms closer to the body or further away, depending on what feels good for you. There might even be some folks that want to take the arms back a little bit because of how that opens up the upper chest a little bit. Ideally, the head is resting evenly on the back of the skull. The nose points towards the sky. And once you feel like you've got yourself set up just like you want to have your body set up for today, then allow your eyes to soften and close. So for our practice today, we're not going to be here a terribly long time, but I do want you to have a moment to close your eyes and settle in and just notice any interesting sensations in the body. Notice how the support feels. Do you feel very grounded and supported in this easy inverted posture where the legs are higher than the heart, creating a downhill gradient from the feet towards the chest? And just that simple action of being in a supported partial inversion can help to trigger some of those nice shifts in the autonomic nervous system for the more active version of the sympathetic nervous system, which really gets us jazzed up and ready for our day, and moving towards the quieter part of that nervous system activity, which allows for really good digestion, really good tissue repair, really good cleansing of a lot of the tissues in the body, including the brain. So all these wonderful little benefits that come from moments of conscious relaxation and rest. Now, if you're really enjoying this and you're close enough to your device that you could put things on pause, you could always set a timer. And I often will stay in this particular position for up to 8 to 10 minutes. That usually helps to trigger what's known as the relaxation response in the body and really allows me to take full benefit of this particular shape. So feel free to do that, especially after you've gone through the practice once with me and you're ready to try it on your own. Get yourself set up and then set your timer and really let yourself luxuriate in this variation of legs up the wall called the easy inverted pose. For our purposes today now, I'm going to ask you to gently allow the eyes to open. Bring your feet softly towards the very front edge of the chair without pushing aggressively. You don't want to tip that chair over. And then just gently roll to one side. I'll let you decide which side you want to roll to. And use the top hand, arm, to guide you up to sitting. Grab whatever you need to sit on. If you want to sit on that blanket that was underneath the hips, you can. And just take a moment to come up to the upright position. And I can already, even though we were only in that pose for a couple of minutes, I can definitely feel that there was some shifts that took place within. And as I come back to sitting, it's almost like my brain and my body have to kind of recalibrate to sitting upright. So today I've shared with you this supported inversion called easy inverted pose. Take some time this week to play around with that in your practice. If you want photos and written descriptions of that, you might pick up a copy of my book, Yoga for Healthy Aging, and find that in the Essential Yoga Poses under the Legs Up the Wall tab. So that's it for today. Have some fun with that practice in your home practice. Hey, join me for a live online live streaming class sometime soon. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and YouTube at Baxter Bell Yoga. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.